Yo, think about this. If you use two pillows, your top pillow is using your bottom pillow for a pillow. This is Epic Thoughts. Took so much time prepping for this show. I didn't have a good joke, or I don't have the button, so that sucks on my part. But welcome to another episode of Epic Thoughts. BBB. I'm your host, Rohmon. Thanks for coming on today. And today we have the homie Karla Finlayson. Say what's up, Karla.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
All right, man. The OGs are in the building. Karla, on a side note, I was going through old files and I was listening to old Epic Thoughts
Oh
episodes.
no.
Hilarious, man. I have to send you some clips of some of the conversations we was having because it's just flat out hilarious. It's hilarious.
Good times. We've had some really good talks.
Yeah, we have. And
One
listen,
almost ended my marriage. No, I'm just kidding.
that one's on
I'm
the
just kidding.
iTunes. That one's on iTunes too. That one. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, but I was gonna say something. Oh, yeah, they're amazing conversations, but we wish because you and I both talk about this. We wish that people could get in when we have candid conversations because the candid conversations is what started the whole concept of Epic Thoughts, and
Yeah,
then we have Epic Thoughts, and they're kind of like polished a little bit because we're trying to like mind our p's and q's for a little bit, but
right.
our candid conversations are what people really need to listen to.
Whew.
Yeah.
And boy, are they candid.
They're candid, bro, and there's no holds back. It's funny how what it's funny like, and even nowadays, like friendship ain't friendship like ours is no more. You know, you can't be as candid as we are with each other. You know, we can't because people are like you guys talk about that. Yeah, we talk about everything, and it's just
Everything.
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 It's just a
Mm-hmm.
different world. It's a different world.
Yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, Karla, we can't call ourselves Epic Thoughts if we ain't gonna talk about it. Okay.
Go
And
ahead, set it up, bro.
like you said yesterday, like you said today, if we ain't gonna talk about it today, we shouldn't talk about it because I think everybody's done with it. But let's put our little two pieces, our 2 cents into it and get it over with. If
Go.
y'all wasn't watching Sunday night, like me, was not watching the Oscars, I realized the Oscars was on at 7:59 or 55. I was like, oh, the Oscars start at 8, and I looked at my phone to change the channel, and I was like, oh shoot, I missed it. This the whole thing is over. And so I got in and I clicked it on my YouTube TV and I noticed that Will Smith had won Best Actor. And I was like, okay, well, apparently Will Smith won Best Actor. And I'm watching his speech and I'm like, apparently he's crying. Like this is my take. I was apparently he crying. He really emotional about this win. So then I Googled it and I thought that he had won for Ali. He didn't win for Ali. So this was his first win. This is his first Oscar victory.
I thought the same thing. I could have sworn, but maybe he won a Golden Globe. No, I don't know. Was it a different award that he won for
It
Ali,
could
or
have been
he
a
was
Golden Globe.
nominated?
He was nominated for sure.
Okay, okay,
Nominated. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's probably why he crying. And then he said, I'd like
right.
to apologize to the Academy. I was like, oh, he apologizing for taking too much time. So I had no context of what was going on in his speech. And he was talking about disrespect and Denzel. And I'm like, what is he talking about, man? Protecting his family. And again, I didn't go on social media after that. I went to regular life, did some work at home, and then I laid in bed and I'm scrolling. That's when I scrolled. So it was like 11:58. I'm scrolling and I see him slap Chris Rock, and I was like, "Yo, what sketch? What show is this part of?" And
I
and
hate
so
it.
and I was like, "What sketch is this part of?" This is 11:55 or 58. It was almost midnight, and I was like, "Wait." It, and I watched it again, and he's like, "He mad. He cussing out Chris Rock. Where was this at? What movie is this from?" 'Cause I thought somebody took a clip from a movie, and then I was like, "Huh." So then I Googled it, tried to figure out what movie it was. I still had no idea. And then I saw it and I was like, yo, this happened at the Oscars? And I ran to Josiah and I was like, Josiah, wake up. Yo, did you see this? And then that turned to another conversation. So this is what we saw. This is what, because Josiah doesn't ever talk about the moment. He talks about what happens. Anyways, so this is what we saw. If you live in the hole like I did.
And so does the audience after
Oh, hold
Will's.
on.
Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith.
So then this is ET, so they're gonna talk over it, and we don't want to hear their thing. But basically, he was like, Will Smith just smacked the ish out of me, and then Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth," and it was nuts, man. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I didn't see it, but basically what happened was he made a
That
joke.
was a nice one. Okay.
Hold on,
While Will appears to laugh at
I don't want to hear it. Anyways, he makes a joke about Jada. And the joke was simple. He said, Jada, you look great. I'm looking forward to seeing G.I. Jane 2. And everyone laughed. Yeah, haha. And it seemed like a basic Oscar spiel. Like Chris Rock gets up there, makes a couple of jokes about the audience, and then moves on to the next thing. And Will Smith had other plans, apparently. This is where he's cussing them. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. Yeah. So if you're like my friend Josiah, who doesn't do social media, he wouldn't know about this, but I'm pretty sure everyone right now knows about it. But I say that now, but there's always somebody who comes around and what happened over there? I don't understand. And it was like a week later. So, Karla, what was your initial response when you saw what happened between Chris Rock and Will Smith?
Um, I was like, dang. Honestly, I didn't know because here's the thing. Jada's always rocked a low cut. So at first I didn't understand why he was upset about the joke until like you, I didn't find out that he got smacked till I was like scrolling through my social media timeline. So then I realized, oh, okay, he made a dig at her because she has alopecia. And, obviously she's rocking a low haircut. I didn't even know that she had alopecia because I just don't follow celebrities like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, I thought he could have handled it better, but also, people have moments that that they have lapse in judgment. I mean, it's a pretty big lapse in judgment to do it on national television live. Um, but I think he could have handled it a lot better if he wanted to defend his wife, especially over something that's so devastating to her that obviously she's been really vocal about, now finding that out. But he should have handled it better.
Yeah. So much to unpack here on
Yeah.
this thing that just happened 2 days ago. So much to unpack because when I initially saw it, I was shocked, extremely shocked, because I was like, "There's
Yeah.
no way Will Smith slapped a man on national television." Like I told you, I said, you know what? That when you think about black excellence or black excellent actors, arguably, Will Smith is third next to Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. So if you were going to mention
I
anybody,
would put Samuel L. Jackson up there
I
too.
put him at 4 because if Chris Rock made a joke about Samuel L. Jackson's wife and he came up there and slapped him, I would
I
say
would
Chris
believe
Rock
it.
should have known. Yeah, I was. If you told me, he said, "Usually slap Samuel L. Jackson slap Chris Rock." Why? What did Chris Rock do? He said something about Samuel L. Jackson's wife. I said, "Oh, he should know." So that's why I was like, when it comes to poise,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him
Yeah.
above.
Okay. Poise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say
You're
poise.
talking about your expectation
My
of
expectation.
how he should react. Okay.
Yeah. Um, Excellent as an actor, Samuel L. Jackson would be upper echelon. But poise wise, I wouldn't see Tyler Perry make that choice. I'm sorry, Tyler Perry. I wouldn't see Will Smith make that choice. And it was funny because yesterday I was trying to figure out who would. And yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, wouldn't be shocked if Samuel L. Jackson. But then other than that, I couldn't think of anybody else. Like Michael B. Jordan wouldn't walk up there and slap somebody. You know, Nick Cannon wouldn't. I mean, just all these black actors' names. So it just shocked me that it was Will Smith, right? And so that was when going to bed. When I woke up, Karla, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I thought about it. And when I woke up, I was pissed because it was Will freaking Smith. Like
Mhm.
I was more disappointed than pissed, but I
Mhm.
was extremely, and I still to this moment, I'm extremely disappointed that this happened. It was a very unfortunate situation, and I'm disappointed in Will Smith. I'm disappointed. Go ahead.
Here's my thought uh as well. Like I think there's like you said, there's a lot to unpack here. For one, um celebrities are people.
Mm-hmm.
They're human. And he, ever since, I mean, the August Alsina thing, it seems like, the part of the reason why I kind of stopped following Jada is because I was tired of hearing about Will and Jada's marriage.
Yes.
Like, I was so tired of hearing about it because I'm like, you know what, you guys, like, there are some things that it's okay to keep private.
Yeah.
There are some things that's okay not to talk about in public.
Mm.
And oftentimes there are, it seemed as though I could be wrong. Did we talked about the August Alsina thing on
We
Epic
did.
Thoughts,
We
did
did a
we
whole
not?
episode. Yes.
We did an episode. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember if I talked to you specifically or if we talked about it on Epic Thoughts, but um in that interview, it seemed as though he was holding back a lot, and it seemed like there was still some hurt there. And I don't know the ins and out of their relationship, but I think after that, it came out that they wanted to have an open marriage. So I don't really know
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I say all that to say, if as a celebrity, you're going to have your image based off of positivity, love, all this stuff that he portrays himself to be, and that's probably why you're so disappointed. Either, and this is something that I told you, either you had a really big lapse in judgment and you're going through a tough time emotionally, or you're really not who you say you are.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to defer to your lapse of judgment argument because I'm going to agree that that's probably the best answer to what we saw. Was a very big lap of judgment. I still believe that Will Smith is a good person. He a good dude. Um, you know, I've studying this, Karla. I found some more interesting information that he has a history of slapping people.
I know. I think I sent you a video.
Well, you sent me. Did you send me the one of the kid? He teaches a
I
kid how
sent,
to slap people, but then
yes.
but then
I
there
don't
was
know if I sent you that, but I've seen it. He
okay.
slapped a reporter that did something to him.
It was a Ukrainian. It's weird. It was Ukrainian. It was a Ukrainian uh like a TikToker,
Hmm.
influencer who
Hmm.
who acted like he was a reporter to get close to him and wanted
Hmm.
to see how close he can get to Will Smith, meaning can he kiss him? And
Oh,
so he tried to kiss him. He actually did kiss him on both cheeks and
I'd slap him too, though.
Will Smith
I'm
kind of
sorry.
like with it and then he leaned in again and Will Smith just pop slapped him again.
Yeah, it was reactionary
It
from
was
what I saw. Yeah.
right. So I mean, but then again, it's like okay, so he has the ability to slap. You know, my thing was, I was disappointed because I felt bad for Chris Rock because Chris Rock was just doing what Chris Rock does, right? And the narrative that the people have taken on this thing is just to me is overreaching, right? Like people act like it was common knowledge that Jada had alopecia. First of all, it's not common knowledge because people don't know who Jada is. There's not a lot of people who know Jada. They know her from her Red Table Talk. And if you're like me, you know how you got that cousin, you know what they're doing, but you don't know what they're doing. Like, what Jada doing? Oh, she doing that Red Table Talk thing on the Facebook. Do you watch any of it? I watched the one with Will because that's the
I
only one
think
people. That's the
I
only one
think
people
she's
watch.
more well known in Black culture because of the Red Table Talk.
Black. I would even go another step further and say in Black woman culture.
Okay, that's fair. But I
Because
mean, she has a lot of diverse people on her show, but her perspective is from a Black woman, so that's who she's going to connect with
yes,
a lot more than other women, even though I do find a lot of their conversations relatable,
hmm
um, as a person who's not Black, but nonetheless, I don't follow her
right.
show
That's what I'm saying.
or.
Now a lot of people follow her show, and she. I'm hearing sketchy reports. I'm reading sketchy reports that she didn't report about alopecia, that she had alopecia, and that's the reason why she shaved her head. Was is a 6-month-old story.
Mhm,
So she shaved her head 6 months ago due to the alopecia, and then that's where I think some people were starting to understand that she had alopecia. At the same time, I didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. There's celebrities who are coming out saying they didn't know. Charlamagne the God was one of them. Say he didn't know. So I mean, there's a chance, and I believe it. When Chris Rock, the only thing we've heard from Chris Rock was he wasn't pressing charges and that he didn't know she had alopecia. So, I mean, either way, I don't blame Chris Rock for this situation. And my thing is this, Karla, you're a celebrity. You ain't been made fun of before. You ain't been the butt of a joke before. People go hard on celebrities all the time. We go hard on them for their roles in certain films. We go hard on them on how sucky they are. Like, this is part of the business that they chose to do and sign up for. So, this wasn't the first time somebody made fun of Jada. I guarantee that. This wasn't the first time someone made a shot at Will. And I'll go back a step further and say, if you really look at the play, at the how things interact, there was never a joke at Will because in Chris Rock's step, he was talking about how what was it, Bourdain, the other actor, that he was hoping that Will Smith won Best Actor, so he didn't have to
mhm,
go home with his wife after she lost Best Actress. So it
mhm.
was like it was a fun thing, and then he just looked at Jada and um, he said the joke about Jada, and you could tell that he responded to Jada's face. Chris Rock responded to Jada's face. Jada rolled her eyes and did not appreciate the joke, and that's why Chris Rock says immediately, "Come on, that was a nice one," because she was not happy with 2016 when Chris Rock made the joke saying that her boycotting the Oscars is like him boycotting Rihanna's panties. Nobody was invited. So apparently that made her upset. And so when he made this joke and saw her eyes roll, he immediately said, "Come on, that was a nice one." So go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
No, go
I
ahead.
just felt like he was trying to clean up the state because he wasn't trying to make her mad. He was just trying to
Well,
be Chris Rock.
I feel like Will Smith's response was pent up. Like that, who knows what happens in the world of celebrities? I don't.
Right.
Who knows what else has been said? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know.
Right.
I think his reaction at the time, I felt like there was more to it, context that we don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
also, in addition to that, um, you know, a lot of I've seen a lot of people make this a black and white thing.
Like race
Um,
wise.
yes,
Okay.
and that is a fair conversation to have. Like I said, there's a lot of cultural layers to this. A lot of people felt that Chris Rock was out of pocket for saying what he said in 2016 and bowing himself to the Academy, the white Academy. But then I'm going to turn around and say, well, if Will and Jada felt so strongly about the Academy, then why were they there?
Yeah.
Why do they continue to be a part of an industry that doesn't respect Black artistry?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like we can't really be mad at Chris Rock because they're still a part of the white industry. Which, mind you, this Oscars was the very, very, very first time that they've had a Black producer,
Mm-hmm.
which is honestly ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's ridiculous that this is the first time that the Academy has chosen to have a black producer in the years and years and years, almost 100 years of being, doing these shows. And it takes, people to really put pressure on the Academy for them to have some diversity. So is there a conversation and is there a point to what Jada and Will were saying? Yes, I do. But you can't be justify Will Smith slapping Chris Rock because you feel like Rock is appealing. In his 2016 comedy sketch, he was bowing down to the white Academy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now
Does that
let
make
me.
sense?
Yes. Now let me. All right. This is epic thought. So I gotta get my. I gotta talk to you like I talked to you yesterday on the phone because I was really
Okay.
passionate about it. So here's my thing. So we actually did epic thoughts about her stance in 2016. That's how long this show has been running, Carla. We actually did an episode
I know.
about her saying that she was boycotting it. Now, the boycott has always been, I feel like, in my opinion, the boycott has been always Jada's fight, not really Will's fight. And I think the reason why is because Will gets nominated, right? Ali got, we all thought Ali, he had won for Ali, but apparently he was nominated for Ali. He was nominated for 7 pounds. He was nominated for the pursuit of happiness. So he's been in the running many times prior before. When did Jada get? Jada didn't. Okay, and probably because Jada doesn't make the greatest films. Like, when was a Jada film where you? Where was the movie you walked out the theater and was like, "Oh, Jada killed that"? There wasn't. Set It Off. Okay, if you want to say Set It Off, but Will was always in the running when it came to the Oscars. And that's why I think a lot of people were surprised when they hear that he didn't win one. You're like, nah, he won for, and then, on top of that, on the 2016, Chris Rock made a joke about we should have boycotted. No, we shouldn't be mad that there wasn't enough black people. We should be mad at Will Smith for taking $20 million for Wild Wild West. I think those are good, proper jokes for a comedian to the narrative. I think this comes back to, and then when Will slaps Chris Rock, right? When Will slaps Chris Rock on Sunday night, in my opinion, I don't think of it as a black, he slapped the white culture and all that. Chris is representing the white. I think that's stretching, but people love to stretch. But I think when he slapped him, this killed anything that Jada was fighting for in her movement to have inclusion, whatever kind of fight it was. Because let's be real, let's be honest. Nobody think twice about Jada until Jada is on the TV screen. But oh yeah, there's Jada. Like, you don't think about Jada when you think about Will. You think about Will. We think about when we think about Jada because we know Jada now to be more of Will's wife than anything else. And I think that this has a little bit to do with that explosion because actually, this is a good transition. Let's talk about the speech, right? Karla, let's do the speech. This is the speech. So then 8 minutes after he slaps Chris Rock, he wins the award for best male performance, right? And this is the speech that he gave. This is crazy.
Will Smith!
I liked how some of them weren't clapping, right? Because in my mind, a bunch of people were clapping, and everyone was standing up. Jim Carrey made I don't know if you saw Jim Carrey's post, that he was
Mm-mm.
disgusted by the people who celebrated him at that moment because it was like, yo, this is less than 10 minutes ago. He just slapped another man. He illegally assaulted another man in front of live audience, in front of everybody. He assaulted a man. And then he wins this award. And you see, it is interesting though, the color of the people who are sitting down, because there's people who just don't take that kind of stuff. And it's funny how we do this, Karla. We do this whole thing where we go, nobody should, whenever somebody hits a woman, you should never, under no circumstance, ever hit a woman. And then somebody comes back and says, you shouldn't hit anybody, period. And they go, yeah, that's true. We just saw that and no one said anything.
My whole thing about this, and this is like my bottom line, is if you want to be a part of the culture war and make this a black and white thing or a black on black thing, or if we're going to have that conversation, my stance is there is almost no excuse to exhibit physical violence.
Never. Never.
And in addition to that, we should be normalizing how to deal with trauma, stress, anxiety, depression, whatever. Any
Hmm.
mental illness, anything. We should be normalizing how to handle it in healthy ways.
You're right. Right.
And if you are justifying this only because of the color of their skin or because it's a black woman and a black man, then in my opinion, you're normalizing violence based on race.
Hmm. Yeah.
And violence is never okay, but at the same time, I think I'm still going to support Will Smith. I think he's talented. I think he made like I said, a human error and a lapse in judgment, and there's room for forgiveness for all people.
Yeah. Okay, so let's watch the speech.
Okay.
Also, on another side note, Karla, King Richard wasn't that good. I just want to say
I
that.
haven't seen it.
It wasn't. He wasn't that great. But okay, here we go.
Oh man. Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. In this time in my life, in this moment, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. Making this film, I got to protect Ingenue Ellis, who was one of the strongest, most delicate people I've ever met. I got to protect Sanaya and Demi, the two actresses that played Venus and Serena. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. And I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. But Richard Williams, and what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you. It's like, I want to be a vessel for love. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena. I just spit. I hope they didn't see that on TV. I want to say thank you to Venus and Serena and the entire Williams family for entrusting me with your story. That's what I want to do. I want to be an ambassador of that kind of love and care and concern. I'm I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees.
All right, that's enough because that pissed me off right there. That's when I was mad.
Why?
Because you don't need to apologize to your fellow nominees. Apologize to Chris Rock. You just put your hand on Chris Rock.
I just think he wasn't sorry. I feel like at that moment he felt that he did the right thing.
Bro.
Because you know what? This is my first time watching that, and I felt a little emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that he thought he was doing the right thing. I do.
Because he played the role
And I'm
of
not saying you did. I'm not saying
Right.
he did, but I think
Right.
that's how he felt.
Well, he played the role of a tough man. Richard Williams is a tough man. He talking about him like he dead. Richard Williams is not dead. Okay, Richard Williams is still alive. He even spoke about what he saw on stage. Richard Williams is a tough man, and he fought. He had to fight the system that was keeping his daughters out of the game. Right? They grew up in Compton. Compton, you gonna be this. Gosh, Will Smith is West Philadelphia, born and raised. Now, I'm not saying on the playgrounds where he spent most of his days. I'm not saying that he's not bad. I'm not saying that West Philadelphia was not hood, but Will Smith has got 50 years. He's 53 years old. Okay, 53 years old. 16, he became a legendary hip hop star. 19, he became a movie actor. He's removed from that, right? Richard Williams had to fight his whole life in Compton. Richard Williams said and he made a statement yesterday. Richard Williams says, under no circumstance are you to put your hands on another man, period. Unless it was self-defense. Richard Williams was fighting, not physically fighting, but he was forceful in getting his daughters into the game and getting his daughters strong and ready for the world, take on anything that comes their way, not to just be winners in the sport of tennis, but to be winners in the game of life. So I think he misrepresented who Richard Williams is. And I said this to my friend Tramel yesterday, Karla. This is my thing. This makes me so mad. Imagine Rohmon makes a movie about Karla and Ivy and their struggle in life to find their way into the beautiful world of Texas. And we put money into it. We produced the film. We get Will Smith to play Ivy. We get so many Latin names just popped in my head. We get Karla to play yourself. Okay, so we'll just say that. I'm going to say Sofia Vergara, Rosario Dawson. We get all these women. We get Karla to play Karla. Whatever. We put all this money, all this hype. We get Oscar buzz. It gets an Oscar hype. Will Smith gets a nod to possibly win Best Actor for his role as Ivy. And he's just like, he calls us and he goes, yo, this is going to be a big night. Why don't you all come down to Hollywood? I get you tickets to the Academy Awards. Our first time there, Karla, we're going to be like, yo, we made it. We're here at the Academy Awards. We're so excited to celebrate the hard work that we put in to put your story to the screen and let the whole world know what the Finlacies have gone through. And you see this nigga walk up on stage and slap Chris Rock. You stole our moment. You stole our opportunity. You made it about you. Like that. There's so many things that make me disappointed because Will Smith should know better. And
it became about Jada.
It became about Jada, right? And I'm going to say it. And if Jada got something to say, that means we made it. But so I'm going to say it. Here's my truth. Here's my truth, Karla, about it. And I know I'm nobody. This is the same thing that happened between Whitney and Bobby. When celebrities meet at a certain time in their life, they meet and they're here, and one celebrity does this and the other celebrity stays here. This is the kind of stuff that happens, right? They met, in the 90s. They started dating then. Will Smith was like a rapper, and his only claim to fame was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, an NBC-driven show. Jada was an actress, and her only claim to fame was Different World, an NBC-ran show. They're both on the same network. Will is on Mondays. Jada's on Thursdays. Jada's is then Will gets into acting and movies. He does Independence Day. Jada does Set It Off. And then Will does Wild Wild West, Much to Do About Nothing, Pursuit of Happiness.
And that changed his career.
That changed his career. Bagger Vance, all these
Mhm.
films, and he just started boom, 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 boom. And
Yeah,
Jada
he
just
became a
kind of
movie star.
And Jada just
Yeah.
kind of stayed right here, right?
hmm
It was the same thing with Whitney and Bobby. Whitney was finally getting accepted in the black culture for I Want to Dance with Somebody. Bobby just released a record called My Prerogative. They're right here. And then Whitney. Essentially, whatever Bobby tried to do, it was never good enough as Whitney. So Jada tries to produce a movie. It wasn't as good as Will's movie. She tries to do something. Her Red Table Talk is good. I've seen clips of it, but it's not as good as Will Smith's Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? It's just like she lives in the shadow of Will Smith. Now, I'm not saying that this is benefit of that, but imagine a conversation between two married couples that started here, both had aspirations. One went here and the other one stayed there. And there could be conversation because I could tell after seeing his speech that he's like he was a protector of his family. So somewhere along in his head, he feels like he's not protecting his family. He was a river to his family. So somewhere in his head, he wasn't a river. He hasn't been there for what God has entrusted him because he said, I haven't done what God's
So
called me
you
to do.
felt that it was out of guilt.
Out of guilt. I feel like it was out of guilt because I felt like Will is a lovable guy. He does his thing. He makes everybody feel welcome. He makes everybody feel loved. And there could have been a conversation where Jada said, "You are there for everybody, but you're not there for me. That's why August is here.
Ooh.
That's why Tupac is a better man than you." Because Tupac Tupac had her heart. Will talks about Tupac in detail years ago, where he said, I wasn't mature enough to handle Tupac and Jada's relationship. So all those things. Now, I wanted to pause this, and I'm just gonna put it up there. I'm not gonna play the video. I just wanted to pause it and look at his face. Will plays the role up until there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it. Will is playing that. He's laughing at this is the joke that he says about Jada. Okay, look at body language. He's smiling, he's laughing. The same kind of laugh he had the joke before. Jada rolls her eyes. Right there. See? Jada's pissed. Still laughing. We don't see the interaction after that. Because next thing we see, there it is. What if Will looked at her, saw her unhappy, and realized Jada
This is
right
my moment to prove to her.
that I'm going to fight for her.
All possible scenarios.
Yeah, and we'll never know. But what I'm saying is the struggle that dude could be going through that led him to that decision to do that. That slap was for one reason only, because the joke wasn't derogatory. Dave Chappelle would have went in on her. You know what I'm saying? Other comedians would have dug her.
I think there's some animosity there.
There's some animosity there.
Opinion.
And Chris Rock was the easiest target. Because think about it. We know that she may have some enemies in the industry, but we know one for sure for at least the last 5 years, and it's been Chris Rock.
And you know what? I mean, there could be a lot of, and this is my whole point to what I'm saying. There could be a lot of issues, unresolved issues there, and that's what I felt when I saw it, and his animosity towards Chris Rock, like keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, or whatever it is that he said twice.
Yeah.
But he, in that moment, from his acceptance speech, doubles down and is justifying in his mind why he did what he did. And like I said, I think he felt like he did the right thing. Now, there are lots of people who think that he did the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I happen to be one of those people that wishes he would have still stood up for his wife, but not exhorted to violence. If he would have stood at that podium and be like, "Hey, Chris Rock, I'm a protector of my family, and I want to tell you from man to man what you said was out of line, and I expect an apology."
Mm-hmm. No, yeah,
That's still defending your wife.
yeah. And he would put the
You know
ball
what
in
I mean?
he would put the ball in Chris Rock's court, which he probably would still not get an apology because comedians don't make apologies.
And you know what?
They
And
have to
that's
apologize for
fine.
everything. That's fine. That's
And
fine.
that's fine.
It's
If
okay to
you
have
don't
beefs.
feel
Yeah.
exactly, and that's fine. If Rock don't want to talk about it, and listen, this comes from, and you know my struggle, and I haven't talked about this on it publicly at all, but I also lost a lot of my hair,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my hair,
Yeah.
and it is a painful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't know how Jada felt about her hair. I just know how I felt. But honestly, um, I I don't think, if I would have put myself in her shoes, I don't think that would have hurt me as bad,
Mm-hmm. Right.
because I could never rock a bald head like Jada. She looks amazing.
She looks
She's
fabulous.
beautiful,
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
But but ultimately, I do understand the pain behind losing your hair.
Mm-hmm.
For women, especially with the stigma that's placed on women in hair, and especially with history with Black women in their hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just think that there was an opportunity to create an environment in a situation where it could have highlighted it in a positive way, and him still protected his wife without slapping somebody else, because all that did was deterred the conversation
Mm-hmm.
and made it about the slap, as opposed to all the other underlining things that it could have been about.
Yes. Now, there is one other thing we could talk about, then we'll move on. There was somebody who reported, who is not connected to the Oscars but was at the rehearsal, and they reported that Chris Rock was at the rehearsal. Will Smith was also at the rehearsal. There wasn't interchange. There wasn't an exchange of any kind, and there was no joke of any kind being made.
So
And
he
then
made out that off the cuff.
he could have made it off the cuff. Um, and there's also reports that this goes with the whole Oscars, that they know who wins beforehand, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to catch you doing a Joey from Friends where they don't say your name. You're like, that mother beat me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they do have a inkling of who wins the award.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, if that's true, that means Will knew he was going to have his moment.
Eesh. Oh
That he
man.
knew he was going to have his moment to get up on stage and say his piece. So I do agree with you that I believe this was a lap of judgment, and and I'm disappointed. I don't hate him. I'm not like going to boycott. We're not going to cancel Will Smith. I'm not going to cancel Will. He makes some good movies.
He's an amazing.
He's an amazing person.
People are human,
People are human. He's an amazing person. He does great things for the community. He does great things for the industry and music. And I've rocked with Will Smith since parents just don't understand. I was literally 10 years old when I heard Will Smith for the first time. So he's a part of my life. So like when I can't stand it when people get on social media and be like, you don't know Will Smith. No, but he was part of our upbringing. He's been part of my upbringing since 10. Like, right,
You can't say that celebrities don't impact culture.
right. They impact
You
culture. They
you
do.
you're not being honest.
You're not being honest. You're not, because you know I re- the eighth grade summer of my after eighth grade, all I listened to was "Summertime," and
And
I have emotional connections to that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I may not be part of his life. He don't know me from Adam, right? But I listen to the records. I have emotional connections. I can put myself in rooms where I hear some of his songs for the first time. I know which date I was on when I went and saw Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
he's a
think that changed his career.
Independence
Independence
Day
Day
definitely
changed his
it
career.
definitely changed the
It
trajectory
made
of
him
his.
an action star. It
It
made
made
him
him
an
a
action
star.
star.
Yeah, it made him a
Well,
star. An
what I
action
was
star.
going to add to that though is this would be very different if he had a platform where he displayed himself to be a ruthless gangster that put his hands on people.
Right. Right.
We would be having a different conversation.
We'd be like, "Well, why are you slapping him?" Okay, you know.
if that was I'm trying to think like who I feel would do something like that. Maybe Samuel Jackson, maybe not. But if he was a
Maybe
certified
if a
gangster,
younger Ice-T has slapped him.
I would have been like, well,
Well, you shouldn't have talked about Coco. You know what I'm saying? Like if a
if
30-year-old Ice-T slap you, a
you
60-year-old.
can't make your brand about love and positivity and black stories that show people succeeding and being, not in showing yourself to be this amazing figure of an overcomer
Mm-hmm.
and slap somebody.
Yeah, yeah, and then
Unless, go ahead.
yeah, I want you to finish your sentence. Unless what?
No, and that's what I said. Unless you're portraying yourself to be this way and you're really not that way.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Chris Rock, man. Like he shouldn't. I
He's not
mean,
my favorite comedian, I'll tell you
not my
that. I
favorite.
wouldn't
Not
pay
mine
money to
either.
see him.
If you were to name, like, sometimes I forget Chris Rock is there. However, arguably he'll go down as one of the great comedians because there are people who think he's funny. There's people
And
who
he also did a lot for the culture.
he's done a lot for the culture, and he's been here just as long. Like I remember, and I have that connection. I remember him as Pookie in New Jack City. You know what I'm saying? I was 17 and I saw Pookie, and I was like, man, who's this Pookie dude? You know. So he's been around. Like these are two guys who, and if they don't like each other, that's fine. You don't have to like each other. But it's also almost like you've been in this limelight. Both Jada and Will, you've been in the limelight since the 90s. It's 2022. Ain't nobody never made fun of you until Sunday?
That ain't the worst. That ain't the worst thing I'm sure that's been said.
I guarantee, bro. We have
I
said
want you to
worse.
Google. I want you to Google because I can't do it right now. I
Uh,
want you to Google the term cluck.
Cluck right now.
Yes.
Okay, so
hmm
we're going live on here. I'm googling the word cluck.
Will Smith was trending on Twitter with the hashtag cluck.
Okay. Oh, I gotta go to Google.
I want you to pull it up because I can't, and I want you to read what it says. I think it's cluck. I'm like, I want to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the term.
Oh, chicken places.
Huh?
I'll type in cluck Will Smith.
Yeah, there you go. Or trending or something like that.
Is this like a video?
No, it's a term.
Oh,
It's a term. It's a term that he was trending online.
it doesn't. It's not popping up.
Hold on. Just go ahead and talk real quick while I find it.
Okay. Oh wait.
Did you find it?
It has something to do with Rizzo from. Okay, you do it. You do it.
Okay,
Because
go ahead and I just want to make sure I first have the term correctly.
okay, so as
But go
Karla
ahead
said,
and oh, I'm sorry, not cluck. Cuck. Cuck.
C-U-C-K. Okay.
Sorry. Cuck. Sounds almost like a cuss word.
Okay. Which one am I clicking? Any of them?
Just what does it mean?
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna put it up. Hold on. Stay with me, right, guys. This is awful. All right. Okay. It says Will Smith, Hollywood actor Will Smith is being called a cuck online after slapping comedian Chris Rock during the 2022 awards. The incident began, okay, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. The shocking display quickly led to widespread debate online. Others claimed that the entire incident had been staged, while conspiracy theorists offered an array of bizarre explanations as why.
Let me
The
tell you
term
what's in
cuck,
it for
however,
me.
appeared to become one of the top trends on Twitter. Cuck, short for cuckold, is a term for a man whose wife is having sex with other men. Oh my gosh, the term has been repeatedly thrown at Smith after he revealed last year that he and his wife have long been in an open relationship. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And this was trending.
Wow. According to this, it was trending before he slapped this man.
Yeah, because go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Because it's saying
This is like
the
way
last
deeper.
yes.
This is way deeper. And
Yeah.
that's why I wanted you to bring that up, because it's however you feel about it,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot. There's a lot. The August Alsina thing,
Mm-hmm.
that's his name?
Yes.
Alsina?
Yes.
Embarrassed Will.
Yes.
And and we can talk about toxic masculinity, we can talk about whatever, we can talk about all that stuff, but at the end of the day, he is viewed as a weak man.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you agree with it or not, that's not the point.
Right.
And as far as the culture goes, because his wife chose to talk about this on her talk show,
Yes.
he's never going to get away from this. So if he went and slapped Chris Rock to show that he's a man, there could be several reasons why he did this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I agree. I agree with you because we even discussed it again that it wasn't even a good look for him because she wouldn't even confess that it was an affair. She just kept calling it entanglement. And so
Because at the end of the day, people are sick of the BS.
yes.
If
Yeah.
you're going to talk about your marriage, then just be straight up.
Straight up honest.
If
Yeah.
not, be quiet, because it's none of our business.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
everybody who wants to make it their business needs to go get a life.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, that is I don't even know if we're going to talk about Hillsong, but
No, we'll talk about it next week, because
okay.
actually I've been reading about it and I feel it's not going away.
The Hillsong thing, yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyways, before we go, then we gotta show you this. I've been wanting to do this, Karla. Twitter has been
the memes. Okay.
yeah, Twitter has been going off. I wish could get all the memes. I wish I could get all the memes, Karla, because some of these memes were vicious. And if you are not on social media, I have to implore you that you probably want to get on because the meme game on this one is intense
It's
and
strong.
it's strong. It's strong.
Okay.
Wait, I gotta send one more to myself because I forgot to send one. So I'm gonna try to do that right
Okay.
now while I'm talking because it is
Okay.
that hilarious. Like I can't deal with it. This thing, some of these are just flat out hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pull them up. I'm gonna try to send them to myself real quick because I've already sent a bunch to myself, but there's two that I forgot to send.
Okay.
But before I send my any last thoughts about this whole situation.
I don't think so. Not right now.
Okay. Okay, there's one. And then the other one. Let me pull it up real quick. While I'm doing this up, don't forget to follow us on HP on all our social things, all our Facebook, Instagram, all the other good stuff, right? Here we go. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I see. And I'm going to start pulling up some of these wacky, crazy, hilarious memes because, I don't like laughing at, Chris Rock's pain or even Will's pain, but you gotta admit, these things are funny as hell. Okay. And so here we go.
Oh,
I got a couple
no.
of them. First of all, and we didn't even get to talk about Jaden and that dude, that sucker. Jaden gets on my nerves. But what you gonna do about it? All right. So here we go. All right, here we go. We're trying to pull. Do you see anything? No, I don't see anything.
Mm-mm.
Gosh.
Technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's not letting me do it. Dang it. It's
Darn.
not letting me do it. I'm so mad too, because these are hilarious. Try
It's
one
all
more time.
good. Was it meant?
It was meant to be, Karla. I'm sorry. It was meant to be. Please let me just drop one in there. It's not letting me do it. Stupid computer. Oh my gosh, there were some funny ones. Like there was one where there's a the picture is him slapping him, and at the bottom of it is the Fresh Prince intro where she said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." That would have me dying. Another one was a picture of Chris Rock's television show "Everybody Hates Chris" while Will Smith is slapping him. I'm trying to think where the other was. The best one, though, Carl, I wish you had seen, was Uncle Phil looking at him like this, and it said Uncle Phil in heaven looking at Will like this. So some awful, awful, hilarious ones. But
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
just oh gosh, I wish I could show you. Then there was one where somebody made the album cover out of it, so it had black lines between Will's eyes and Chris Rock's eyes, and this is Drake's new album cover. It's
That
just,
is stupid.
and even me and you have shared some to each other that is just downright ruthless and hilarious.
Wow, the internet is unbeatable.
Yeah, the internet is undefeated. What we'll do, Carla, we'll post some of them on the Epic Thoughts Facebook page. How about that?
There you go. Do
We'll,
that.
we'll post them on the Epic Thoughts Facebook page because I'm pretty sure my phone let me
You
do
should
that.
do a poll of what you should do a voting poll and see what's people's favorite.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll see if we can set up a voting poll of which one is your favorite Will Smith and Chris Rock meme because they're vicious, man. They're vicious. Or send us your memes. Send us if you see a meme that we probably won't send. We probably won't post all of them, but make sure you maybe we should do a hashtag Epic Thoughts Epic
Yeah,
Thought
do that.
Epic Thoughts Will memes. So we'll do Epic Thoughts Will memes, and we'll post them up, and we'll just have fun with it. Yo, next week we gotta talk about this Hillsong thing because this Hillsong is. If you have Discovery Plus, go ahead and watch it, and we'll talk about it next week. We wanted to talk about it today. We won't have time. Hillsong is under a lot of scrutiny for their they've been exposed in a documentary, and we have some thoughts about it, and we would love to talk about it. We're going to talk about it next week. Was it overreach or was it legit? All right, well, we'll talk about it next week. Karla, any last words?
Nope. It's always good to chat on here, and God willing, see you guys next time.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Peace. Have a good one. Bye.